Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey Skate Down. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. Finally, Erik Karlsson has been traded from the San Jose Sharks to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and this was a monster of a blockbuster of a trade. We heard the rumors of Elliotte Friedman saying that on Friday it would be done possibly by Sunday, and it was done on Sunday, which is pretty shocking to hear. You know, analysts say that it actually comes true because, you know, sometimes they'll say stuff because they hear wording of it happening soon, but, you know, he broke it down to the day, so good job, Elliotte Friedman. But this was a monster of a trade. It involved a lot of other parts from 3 different teams. We had an assumption that it would take more than 2 teams to get it done, being that it was such a big cap hit for Erik Karlsson. You had to include players that had those cap hits off this team that can help it to be moved. So this was a big deal, so I want to talk about that in this video, so please stay with me throughout. So the 3 teams involved in this trade to get Erik Karlsson traded from the San Jose Sharks to the Pittsburgh Penguins included the San Jose Sharks, the Montreal Canadiens, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, they get defenseman Erik Karlsson. He's the main thing of this whole trade. Forward Rem Pitlick, forward Dylan Hamiluk, and a 2026 third-round pick. The San Jose Sharks, they get a 2024 first-round pick, top 10 protected from the Pittsburgh Penguins. They get forward Mikael Granlund, defenseman Jan Rutta, and forward Mike Hoffman from the Montreal Canadiens. And the San Jose Sharks retain $1.5 million of Erik Karlsson's salary, yearly salary. So it broke his cap hit went from 11.5 down to $10 million a year for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Montreal Canadiens, they get a 2025 second-round pick. Defenseman Jeff Petrie comes back to the Canadiens from the Pittsburgh Penguins with 25% of his salary retained, which goes down to 4.68 cap hit. They get goaltender Casey DeSmith from the Pittsburgh Penguins and forward Nathan Legare from the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I like what this trade does for each of these teams. They pick up some parts that they can play out their remaining contract with the team, or the teams can flip them to other assets. But, you know, I like what this does for Montreal Canadiens. You know, they bring back Jeff Petrie. They get a goaltender in Casey DeSmith. They add another second-round pick to their, you know, to what they have going forward. And I like what the San Jose Sharks get. They get their first-round pick, which is crucial in these big trades. They get Mikael Granlund, Jan Rutta, and Hoffman. You know, these players can play with the organization, or the San Jose Sharks could move them for other assets. So, you know, I mean, I like this trade for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I do. You know, I know Karlsson is aging. I know he's in his 30s. I know that's the monster of a cap hit, but they're all in. They want to win another cup with this core. They want to see Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and Karlsson now as their top core 4. They want to see them lift the Stanley Cup and possibly be their last, you know. So this is a move to get another huge player onto their roster. And, you know, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I just want to talk about some other stuff first. So, you know, Crosby and Letang endorsed this trade happening, so they wanted to see Erik Karlsson coming from the San Jose Sharks. Erik Karlsson, what can you say about him? He's won the Norris Trophy this past year for the NHL's best defenseman. He led the 2023 NHL Defenseman in scoring with 101 points. He was the 6th defenseman in NHL history to do that. You know, looking at his stats, he's 33 years old, 6 foot, 190 pounds. His contract expires at the end of the 26-27 season, so they get him with a bit of term. He's a 3-time Norris Trophy winner. He's a 7-time NHL All-Star. Looking at his stats this past year, 82 games played, 25 goals, 76 assists for 101 points. Looking at season 21-22, he played in 50 games, 10 goals, 25 assists, 35 points. And in 2020-2021, he played in 52 games, 8 goals, 14 assists for 22 points. So looking at his stats over, you know, the past couple of years, the things that really stick out to you is the last 4 years especially. He's dealt with some injuries, and he hasn't played, you know, he played from 50 to 56 games each of those seasons. So that's the whole thing. This past year, he was able to feel better. He talked about that entering the season too. He talked about, you know, feeling better this off season. You know, he's coming in with a better mindset. He feels better mentally and physically and healthy as far as his body to take on a season. So we saw him play a full 82-game season. So we have to wait to see what happens with this. And, you know, with them acquiring Erik Karlsson, you know, I don't see him having the same exact year. It's hard to replicate a year, such a fantastic year like he did this past year. But, you know, it's hard to dictate what he may do this year. You know, he has a better core of players around him. This team is built to win. I know a lot of their players are older. You know, they don't have the foot speed as a lot of these other younger teams do, but they still have the experience. They still have players that can still play at a fantastic level for their age. So, you know, I think with him coming to a team like the Pittsburgh Penguins, the playing situation will be a bit different than it was with San Jose. San Jose, he was the star defenseman, getting the most ice time out of all of them and trying to just do what he does out there. You know, playing with Pittsburgh, it may be a different story. He may get a little bit less ice time, you know, especially when it comes to power play and stuff like that. What happens with him and Letang as far as that? You know, I'm sure with San Jose, he got a lot more. I'm sure with Pittsburgh, it will be a little less. So the whole thing of adjusting will take time, especially when you have this team around you that has won in the past. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting situation to see what this year brings for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm curious to see how the chemistry builds with Karlsson and his new team, and, you know, it's going to be fun to watch. So this was a good trade because they get what they want. They wanted another big right-shot defenseman that, you know, he can provide a lot of offense for this team. But I do like what Kyle Dubas and company have done this offseason. They were able to bring in Riley Smith, Ryan Graves, Noel Acciari, Alex Nedeljkovic, Matt Nieto, Lars Eller. They brought back Tristan Jarry to an extension. And, you know, I like their goaltending duo of Jarry and Nedeljkovic going forward. And I like their top four. You have Pettersson, you have Karlsson, you have Graves and Letang. You know, this is a deep team. And especially when you look at their forwards up front, they have a really a good group of depth up front. So I'm curious to see what the Pittsburgh Penguins do. You know, this past year was the first time they missed the playoffs since 2006. And I'm sure they're going to be one of those teams that are really going to battle and compete all year and make the playoffs this year. So comment below. What do you think about this trade? If you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, or a San Jose Sharks fan, what do you think about it? Comment below, and a fan of the NHL in general. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your time. Smash that like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the Hockey Skate Down. It's free, and join our hockey team. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of the night. Have a great day tomorrow. Take it easy. Stay safe.